Continuing with Chapter 8, Loans, Investments and Annuities, which we haven't actually got to yet. We've looked at 8A, 8B, 8C, and I'm assuming that you've listened to those before you listen to this one. Your learning intention with 8D is to be able to use a finance solver, TVM solver, to analyze reducing balance loans. As before with the TVM solver, there are 7 variables and you have to supply 6 in order to solve for the 7th, and a couple of new functions will be introduced as well. Now, when we're talking about reducing balance loans, we need to be sure about what numbers go in as positive and what numbers go in as negative. As I said before, money in the pocket, such as a loan lent to you or some withdrawal from an investment, goes in as a positive amount in the calculation, and money out of the pocket, such as some savings you put into the bank or an installment on a loan, go in as a negative amount. So here's going straight to the exercise, which we will explain in detail. The first question is simply asking you, and by the way, just keep your wits about you all the time, read the question. Find the balance at the end of the following reducing balance loan after the given number of compounding periods. So what have we got? We've got a principal of 8,000, annual rate of interest of 4.5%, is compounded monthly, so 12 a year. We're going to be paying it off at $350 a month, and we want to know what is still owing after 6 months. So presumably the loan will last considerably longer than 6 months if you're only paying off $350 a month. In your TVM solver, therefore, n equals 6 months. We want to know I is 4.5%. Present value, what we start with is a loan of $8,000. Apparently we're paying off $350, so that goes in as a negative. PY and CY are 12 because it's monthly. Get all those things right, and then alpha solve, that's what this dot means here. Alpha solve, I've done it for you, $6,061.91. Please don't write down a negative number. Write it down as $6,061.91 to the nearest cent. Now there's plenty more, that's just part A, so I think you should pause the video here and have a crack at the rest of question 1. Now these are all slightly different, these questions. Take your time, concentrate on them, pick up the main points and practice them. This time we have to find the repayment amount. This is question 2A. Of each of the following reducing balance loans. Well, 2A is $17,000 principal. It's going to take 30 months, so we're going to pay the whole thing off. So that's why we've got FV equals 0 now. N is 30 because we're doing 30 months, 6.8%, $17,000. Alpha solve on the payment, and that is the negative even though my cursor is on top of it. $617.80 to the nearest cent is the answer that you have to give to that question. Again, that's just part A. Plenty more of question 2 to practice if you pause there and then carry on afterwards. Alright, question 3 starting again. Alright, question 3. Now, keep your wits about you. There's a lot to learn here, and there will be a lot more in the remaining questions. First of all, we have to find 2 things, the number of repayments and the value of the final repayment. Number of repayments, fairly straightforward. Put in all the information, such as the interest rate, the PV and the repayment, and the alpha solve for n gives you 20.036, which to the nearest whole number is 20 repayments, or 1 year and 8 months. That's how long it'll take to pay off the loan. Value of the last repayment is a little bit more complicated. This introduces a new function. If you clear your TVM solver, leave this on the screen, but then clear TVM solver with, I suggest, second function quit and then clear, and then go into apps finance again and scroll down to sum of interest, sigma interest, which I think is ABC, off the screen. Select that, and the total interest on what was in TVM solver for month 1 to month 20, and as well as the whole time. If you put that in, it'll tell you the total interest on this particular loan, which is still there in the calculator, is $828.40 to the nearest cent. Now, the value of the final repayment will be your interest, $828.40, plus the $15,000 that you paid off, minus the 19 payments of $790 that you've made so far. So I'll just say that again. $15,000 plus the interest on the loan, $828.40, and then subtract from that 790 times 19, which will give you an answer of $818.40, which is the value of the final repayment. Question 7 is where we are going to change the rate of interest halfway through the loan, or sometime during the loan. So we start off with a $35,000 loan, 20 years, monthly 240 repayments. What are the repayments of the loan? So AlphaSolve on PMT gives us $349.43. How much interest is paid on the loan over the 20-year period? So part C, how much is still owing after 4 years? This gets a bit more complicated. So after 4 years, that's after 48 payments of $349.43, which you've got to change. You can't just leave that as a long decimal. Change it to minus $349.43. Calculate the future value, will give you $32,437.90. After 4 years, the interest rate then rises to 13.75%. That amount, $32,437.90, goes into the present value. Put the future value to 0. Change n to 192, which is 16 times 12. Interest rate to 13.75, and calculate the PMT, will gives you $418.66. Well, if you followed all that, then you can definitely say you can use the finance solver to analyze reducing balance loans and try and work on all the remaining questions of exercise 8D.